Hey, what's good everybody? Injured bringing you another commentary here on Smite. I'm playing my new favorite character, WuKong. When I first started playing this game, I absolutely hated him. I couldn't stand him. I thought he was probably the worst character ever in this game. But as I've grown to learn him, he's definitely becoming one of my favorites. So if you are or were like me, hated WuKong, you will learn to love him. There's a couple tips and tricks I think that really make WuKong shine, and I hope to show them to you here. So as I said, I picked WuKong. What I like to start with WuKong is Heartseeker. I pick Heartseeker a lot on my AD carries, pretty much every single one of them. It ends up adding the most AD of any weapon in the game once you get the stacks, and also increases your movement speed. Movement speed is just too powerful for this game. I also end up picking up Hand of the Gods, as you can see here. And the reason I really like to half jungle with all of my melee AD. And getting those buffs and then starting to gank is really powerful. If you want to see some Bastet gameplay, check out my other video. But they really just are able to snowball once you get a couple buffs and just keep going. So I'm going to head over to green buff, and as you know, there's going to be some downtime. Trying to wait for the creep to spawn, all that kind of stuff. We're just going to sit, hang out, maybe have a little bit of a dance party. That's what I like to do in my stream when I'm sitting there. I'll usually play a couple songs and start boogieing with my god as I'm waiting. But as I said in my Bastet video, I really like to roam. And I can't remember how much I roam in this video, but usually I roam a ton as WuKong. WuKong is a very, very strong roamer. His passive, giving him the extra movement speed, allows him to move even quicker between lanes, which just ends up being, too good. And again, watch that Bastet video. It's a little bit longer. I end up doing really well. I have a very good KDR, and I'm able to just constantly pick people off. So check that out to see how to properly roam. But WuKong can really be a strong roamer because of his movement speed. And as you get Heartseeker and level that up, you're going to get additional movement speed. He gets really fast. And when I actually play with my friends and I'm screwing around when I play WuKong, I usually just buy every item that has movement speed on it and just zoom around the map. Alright, so green buff should be spawning here soon. Artemis actually aggroed it on accident, and that's not a big deal. And we end up picking up green buff, so she's very nice. She lets me take the buff as I'm going to be half jungling, and we go back to lane. So, as I talked about in the Bastet video, I'll try not to bring it up a lot in this one, is minimize downtime. Green buff and blue buff really allow you to have a lot of sustain in a lane, so you don't have to worry about it. And before I hated when my partner would come and help me with the jungle, but I really like it now because now we're both here and we're able to get full experience on this creep wave, which is really nice. And so obviously we're already level 2. Our enemy, for whatever reason, isn't even in lane, and so we're already well ahead of them. Oh, there they are. They went and got a red buff, which is actually a really good start too. Red buff gives you a ton of experience. And so they're actually probably ahead of us a little bit in experience, but they're not because we got the lane experience. We got a whole wave of experience that they didn't get, and so they didn't use Smite or whatever. I don't know what they did, but they didn't kill it fast enough. And so we were able to put some good harassment on this Guan Yu and this Bastet as they came out of the lane, and so they're pretty low already. And I was like so upset right there. I thought my monkey was gonna jump just between the gods, and it jumped to the lane. That was a kill for sure, and we just got unlucky and just missed it. So, very good harassment by our Artemis. I put in some harassment too, got them very low, and I'm going to go get this blue buff to increase my sustain, increase my harass. They're already low, and so I'm not afraid to use mana. I'm going to try to kill this as quick as I can to get back in the lane. Now, what I said before about them, getting pushed out of the lane is very good because we're already ahead of them in experience and gold. And so if we can make them back, they're going to get even farther ahead. And it's very good because both of them are strong carries. So kind of counterintuitive to most other MOBAs. It can be very good to push a lane in this game as long as you're careful, because when you push a lane, it denies them gold. Because when a tower does damage onto any creep, it can lower the gold that they get. And so it can be pretty advantageous. So you might want to try experimenting with that, see how you like it, but always high pressure in this game, especially with the towers being so weak. High pressure, gets towers down, gets you more gold, keeps the pressure up on the enemy team, especially once you start pressuring some Phoenix. So just getting some missing calls. I'm backing a little bit because our creep wave's dead. I don't want to take the creep. And Bastet used her jump for whatever reason, which makes me happy because she's not going to really be able to get far away. And I was really hoping that we were going to be able to put some high pressure on now that this art was here. But not a big deal. So no more creep wave, trying to put the high pressure on. Again, I got blue buff. I want to use my mana. I want to harass hard with them. And so, again, we're just completely out harassing them, completely out, you know, CSing. I know there's not really CS in this, but, you know, their tower's denying a lot of gold. Our tower hasn't denied any. We should be doing really, really, really well. And we're just going to keep the pressure up. I mean, like I said, that's what we want to do. And so I'm going to actually start putting some auto attacks on the tower. Thankfully, Guan Yu got a nerf finally, so I'm not at a quarter health anymore. That would have been very, very bad. If I were to eat that from Guan Yu, I probably would have been dead. And so, again, keeping the pressure up. I'm using my spells to harass. I still have the blue buff, so I'm going to keep this lane pushed. And I'm trying to harass anytime I can when I'm killing the creep, but we'll see how it goes. I'm actually doing a poor job right now because I have Hand of the Gods, and I haven't used it in a while, and I should have been using it beforehand, but I'm getting good harass off, so I don't know. You can kind of see the trade. I'm really wanting them to get kind of low because I have my alt now, and that's where WuKong really shines, is multiple heroes. If you can get multiple heroes in your ult with no creep, you're going to see a huge advantage in your WuKong play. A huge jump, too. So, if you'll notice, I almost never in this game lead with my leap. Lead with my number one. You don't want to do that because that's your escape. If you end up initiating and then all of a sudden it goes, you know, terrible, you're going to go, oh crap, I can't get out of here. WuKong has a ton of movement speed. So typically I like to just run up on them and then use my ult. And so do that. Don't use your one to jump in. That's what I used to do, and I'd die immediately because I had no way out. So you just run up, you drop your ult, and then you try to immediately, because then it should be easy, use your 3 skill, which is that jumping monkey. Hopefully it's just two gods in your ult just sitting there, because then it just jumps between the 2 gods. And then what you want to do is, and there I jumped immediately because the second hit of his ult is going to silence me. And with his second silence, the third's going to stun, and I'm going to take a lot of damage that I don't need to take. So anytime you're facing a Guan Yu and you have an escape, you always use your escape after the first hit, because once you get silenced, you're dead, because you're going to get stunned on the third. So as I was saying, you ult, you use your 3, it bounces between the gods, and then you follow up with your 2, which is that AoE conal smash, and you need to make sure that your 2 hits both of them too. And so you're going to do huge amounts of damage to those 2 gods. And obviously if there's 3, you try to make it hit 3 and so on. But really your power shines with just 2 gods. You need just 2 gods in there because it's going to leap just between the 2 of them. You're going to maximize your damage. And so I pick up green buff again, want to get that sustained. I know blue buff should be up shortly, and I know they did red buff, so I want to try and get this red buff if it's up. And it is, so that's going to be really powerful. So again, I'm going to have, try to get them with just the 2. I'm going to have red buff now, and I'm just going to try and DPS them down really quick. And if you can't get both, get 1. Who cares? It's a kill. It's just a cooldown. You want to just try to get kills, because kills is what really makes your gold take off from just farming creep. You know, people can kind of stay close with just creep farm. You want to really take off with your gold, or with your god kills. So I didn't see who that was. That was really quick. I'm probably going to get this mana. And, yep, getting the mana buff. So, again, not afraid to use my mana, want to get the mana buff, and then I'm going to have tons of sustain, tons of damage because I have that buff, and I'm starting to get stacks on my Heartseeker. So I should really start snowballing here soon because I have all the sustain and the damage, and it's going to be a lot harder to kill me. And so I see Bastet used her leap, she engaged. I'm going to put pressure on her because I know she can't leap away, and if she does, she leaps back into our tower. I unfortunately wasted it. She leapt back. But I'm able to put a lot of pressure on this Guan Yu. I bet he's going to get away, though. I think he still has mana. I leap, get the slow, starting to put some auto attacks in. Oh, he's not getting away. He's not getting away. Yep, dies. That is a great kill. Guan Yu is always an amazing player to kill. A lot of people are saying he's underpowered now. I don't think so. I think he's still very valuable. His ult has tons of utility. His 3 has tons of utility. His dash has tons of utility. And his heal has tons of utility. He's just such a good hero, or such a good god. And I would never say he's bad. I don't know. I really still love him. I think now he's on par where he should be. And just having he's probably one of the most fun gods. I'm gonna probably put a video out of Guan Yu here soon, just because he's so much fun to play, and he's still very, very powerful. So again, putting pressure on this tower. Want to get this tower gold, and this Bastette's low on mana, so I'm gonna put some pressure on her. And you know, I'm just trying to get her out of the lane. I want her to have to leave. I don't want her to get experience. I don't want her to get gold. I talked about earlier, I believe it was in the Bastet video, I'm not sure which video it was, but I talked about imposing my will on the enemy team. I don't want them to ever feel like they can do what they want. I want them to always feel like they're adjusting to me, because that way hopefully I can change what I'm doing and they'll have to adjust to me again. I want them always guessing. I want them always having to adapt to what I'm doing. I don't want to adapt to what they're doing. But obviously in any MOBA, part of the game is adapting to your enemy. So again, just putting out harassment, trying to stay in lane as long as possible. I really want to not go back. And so for whatever reason, this Bastet did not leap away. She ends up dying. Guan Yu puts a lot of pressure on this Artemis. I tried slowing for her so she could get out, but unfortunately it didn't happen. And now I'm worried because my leap is gone, and I told you not to waste your leap. But I did that to try to save my friend. And now this Guan Yu's worried. I got this huge creep wave. Creep waves are a big deal in this game, as you know. And I'm able to pick up this kill because of that creep wave. He ended up missing a dash, and I got lucky and juked it, timed the juke right, and I got the kill. So again, I'm going to really start snowballing. I got a couple kills now. I should have a lot of stacks on my Heartseeker, picking up boots for a little bit of protection. And let's see, what do I start picking up? I would say maybe Frostborn Hammer, but I ended up going with level 2 boots because this is my thought process. If I was going to start another item, I would probably return to finish that item. And I'm going to then like continue to have level 1 boots. And so I'm starting to get to the mindset of use all your money whenever you go back. Don't save. Because when you come back, you usually come back with still like, you know, 2K gold, 1,800, you know, maybe 2,500. So just use that gold when you come back. You know, use all your gold when you go back because you want to come back into the game as strong as possible. You don't want to come into a fight and be weaker than you should be because you don't have items. And so I got really lucky. I still ended up picking up this buff. I saved my 3 to get the buff, and I wanted to jump a little bit between this Guan Yu. But it was good. This movement speed buff is going to probably save me here. I got her to waste her leap. I dropped my ult, and like I said, in 2s, that's when you're strongest. I didn't have my 3, unfortunately, so I used my 2, and I was hoping that Artemis would stun there. I don't know if she had it, but it would have been nice if we had that stun because then they would have really got destroyed. And so I ended up leaping, get the slow on Bastet, and get the final hit. And again, I'm really starting to snowball here. And Guan Yu stays. I'm getting a little cocky, so I'm trying to, you know, feel him out, see if he's wanting to engage. I do like to do that, especially if I have speed buff, is you can tell a lot by a person on how willing they are to engage on you. So he decides to come in. And I just DPS through his 3, which would be completely unheard of post-patch. And I get lucky. This Hebo runs right into me, hit him with my 3, done. More stacks, more money, more experience. I love it. And so I clean up that creep wave with my Hand of the Gods, and so we can pressure this tower, and we get it down. More team gold. It's great. You always want to get team gold when you can. And so now I see that this right lane is really pushed up, and so I want to come over there and try and kill them. And I actually don't have that much mana, but I'm pretty powerful right now with my Heartseeker being full stack. I do a lot of damage for this early in the match, and our team actually picks up one of the kills, and I'm able to come in and really easily clean up that Vamana. And so, again, I just keep getting really lucky. And, I mean, part of this game is luck, but you create your own luck. You got to know when to go in. You got to know when to go out. You got to know, okay, this lane's pushed up, they're vulnerable. This lane's pushed back, you know, I don't want to be there. Or I'm pushed up too far, I need to get back. You really create your own luck in this game. And sure, there are some RNG type things in the game, but there's not that many. Not as many as Han. So, that to me, that's really nice. I like the fact that there's not as many RNG type things in the game. And so it really allows you to rely on your skill. So I'm going to continue to put pressure on this tower. I know that we just killed a couple of people on this lane, and I got the blue buff now, so I'm really able to start, you know, sustaining again. And so I don't have to go back. And like I said, the only time you want to go back, I said this I think in the Bastet video, is when you die or when you're going to buy. And right now I'm not planning on dying. And so I can keep farming because I have this blue buff, and so I don't want to go back. I want to keep, you know, farming as much as I can. And so, let's see, I'm level 13, the rest of my team's level 12, 10, and 11, and so that's because I'm not going back as often. And so this hell comes to check me out. I don't know what she was thinking, and I just pretty much able to auto-attack her to death. I see that this Vomana comes in. I get a little worried. I drop my ult, put some damage into the hell, and kill her. And so that was really good. I was able to 2-on-1, and like I said, your strength is when there's 2 gods. And I ended up just getting a little bit lucky there. And so now that I'm pretty close to being dead, I'm now going to want to go back. And so I'm kind of waiting for a heal here from this hell. And so I'm not getting it, so I kind of start running, and I'm freaking out. I leap away, and the Vomana disengages. So that had me really, really, really worried. And unfortunately, this game's kind of winding up. I have a lot of money. I didn't get to go back. I didn't get to buy. We're going to put some pressure on this Vomana, and they end up CCing 4v5 because we're just outplaying them and had a lot more kills than them. And so we're able to keep the pressure up. Keep moving, guys. Don't go back. WuKong's really fun. Remember, don't leap in. Use your 4. Use your 1 to leap out. Have fun, guys. Peace.